Hello everybody, it's Jess and welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am here with my plans for September. So we are into the last third of 2022, which is insane. I can't believe it is September already. Time has just flown by and I have a lot of books that I would like to get to, but I mainly want to read more non-fiction this month. I'm just in a huge non-fiction mood, so the majority of my TBR is going to consist of non-fiction books. Now I have started knitting again, which I'm really enjoying. It absolutely kills my wrist, but I'm having a great time delving back into that and learning some new knitting patterns and techniques. And I like to listen to audiobooks while I'm knitting, and I thought it would be a great way to get through some of the non-fiction books that are on my TBR. So I am currently working my way through Unnatural Causes, the life and many deaths of Britain's top forensic pathologist. This is by Dr. Richard Shepherd. So he is, well, as it says, one of Britain's top forensic pathologists, and he is talking about his time as a forensic pathologist, performing post-mortems on bodies that die in normal circumstances and also not so normal circumstances. People who have died because of victims of crime or in car crashes or terror attacks, anything like that. And he also talks a little bit about his life as a child, but it's mainly about his time as a pathologist, and I find it really fascinating. I have this weird morbid fascination with death, particularly about the human body and what happens to it after. I don't know why, but I just find it very interesting. And so listening to this has been very eye-opening already. I have 7 hours left of it. We'll probably have finished it by the time this video goes up. I don't know, but yeah, that one's pretty interesting. And then, as I said, with my morbid fascination of death, I would also like to read Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. This is by Caitlin Doherty. So Caitlin Doherty is a mortician. She works in a funeral home in America. She does have a YouTube channel called Ask a Mortician, which is how I first discovered her. I find her videos so fascinating. She talks about what it's like to work in the funeral industry and the different kind of practices that different funeral homes do, you know, cremation, burial, natural burial, embalming, all of that kind of stuff. And so in this book, she is talking about what goes on in the funeral home that she works in the crematorium, the things that she's learned from it. And she's also talking about different kind of approaches to death, depending on the different cultures, how different cultures deal with it, and why people in the Western world should have a healthier attitude around death and dying. I always find everything that she has to say really interesting, so I'm really looking forward to delving into this. And then another audiobook that I would like to listen to is called A Bit of a Stretch, The Diaries of a Prisoner, and this is by Chris Atkins. So Chris Atkins is a documentary maker, and when he was embroiled in this dodgy scheme to fund his latest film, he ended up in prison for 5 years. And so this book is just talking about his time in prison, what he saw, what he experienced, how he felt. And our prison system isn't great, but I always find prisoners' accounts very interesting, and it definitely puts me off committing any crime. But he was imprisoned in HMP Wandsworth, which is one of the oldest, largest and most dysfunctional prisons in Europe. And yeah, he talks about a variety of different people that he met there, like drug dealers, corrupt senior officials, the police there, and it just sounds very interesting. Apparently it's dark but also funny, so yeah, I don't know, I just, that one's really calling to me. And then I've got 2 physical books here that I would like to read. So sticking with the prison theme, we've got The Prison Doctor, My Time Inside Britain's Most Notorious Jails. This is by Dr. Amanda Brown, and as the title suggests, she was a doctor working in UK's prisons, and she's just talking about her time there and the kind of prisoners that she encountered, pregnant women, the violent prisoners, you know, people who self-harm themselves. I think it's going to be a very heavy read, but I also think it's going to be a very eye-opening and a very different account of prison life. And then a completely different end of the spectrum, we have got How to Build a Universe. This is by Professor Brian Cox and Robin Ince, and I am going to see Professor Brian Cox live on the 12th of September, and I'm very excited. I've seen him live before, about 4-5 years ago now, and it was really interesting and so much fun, and I'm taking my boyfriend along with me this time because he is huge into space. And I love everything that Professor Brian Cox puts out, so I'm really interested in reading this one pretty soon. I like what it says on the back here. It says, "We take no responsibility for any household damage or existential crises should your universe lead to sentient life perpetually complaining of the confusion of existence." And that is definitely me, because every time I read stuff like this, I get an existential crisis. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I think this just talks about what makes up the universe, and yeah, it just sounds really fascinating. So those are all of my non-fiction reads that I want to get to in September. And then fiction-wise, I don't really know what I'm going to read, but I am still working my way through my TBR for the Monstrous Mondays series. I have about 6 books left to go on that series, so I will be making my way through those, and then after that I don't really know, we'll see what I fancy. But yeah, that was my TBR for September, short and sweet and full of all of the good stuff. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a cheeky thumbs up if you like this video, because it does really help with my channel. You can also subscribe and hit the bell button so you will be notified every single time I do upload. And having said all of that, I will see all of you lovely people in my next video very soon. Bye guys.